Thank you, everyone, and welcome to today's presentation, iLearn Insights presentation. So before every session, especially session 1 and session 2, I generally give a presentation. So everyone, especially to the new staff, at least know what is iLearn Insight and how does it work. So today, again, it would be a lot of information. If you look at the schedule, it will be lots of information. So I'm not expecting that you will understand everything. At the same time, I'm also not expecting that you spend a lot of time to understand. So today, let's go through all of this topic. Let us understand to some extent. Whatever you don't understand, or if you have more questions, in the future, we can have a short Zoom, or I am available for other Zoom consultancy, or feel free to mail me whenever you like, right? So one of the aim of iLearn Insights is to reduce workload for the academics. So if you spend more time to understand iLearn Insights, the whole point of its main aim will be wasted, right? So definitely do not put more effort to understand iLearn Insights, just send me an email. Generally, I send reply very quickly. So if you go to your unit, as you can see, this is suppose my unit. On the left-hand side, there will be a link to the iLearn Insights. So if you click on that link, it should take you, it will ask you to log in. I have already logged in, so it's not asking me, but it will ask you to log in with your OneID. And once you logged in, this is what you will see. So this is how the dashboard looks like. Now, to explain all the functionalities of iLearn Insights, I will pick up a different unit, which I will explain it from there. So let's consider this one. All right. So first of all, this is the iLearn unit name. This is the short name. And if you, whatever link you see over here, if you click, it should take you directly to that place within the iLearn, right? So this one will take you to the unit course page. And if suppose these are the resources link, if you click over here, it will take you directly to the resource place. So what will happen? This will reduce the amount of click that you need to do, and it will save you time to reach to that particular resource. First of all, overall iLearn Insights. So if you look at over here, so this would be the information of your unit. On the right-hand side, which is the most important bit, I believe, is the engagement of your unit, right? But there is nothing good or bad about the engagement. It's all up to you to understand your unit, right? So for an example, for this unit, there is a 55% of engagement. Please note that this is a previous unit, so not many students are active. 55% of engagement. And as you can see, login engagement is 37 and on-time submission is 74, which makes up actually 55, right? So I will go in details later when I talk about the unit engagement. Over here, you can see the unit access within the last 14 days. So it will give you an idea whether students are accessing your unit or not, right? So, and how many students are accessing your unit. So the blue one is the course. So they goes to the home page of your unit, and activity, this one is the activity. That means they clicked on an activity. It might be a resource or something. So they went into the resource or any activity like Turnitin or assignments or other thing, forums or other thing. So this is more or less will give you an idea whether students are accessing your unit or not. This one, probably one of the best thing about iLearn Insight, that it gives you the top 5 resources that students are currently accessing. So you can see like these are the resources that students are currently accessing. So if you see the resource which they are not supposed to access, or they are accessing something else, that means there might be something not clear in their unit that what they should access, right? So this will give you an idea of which are the top resources students are currently accessing. Then this is the open activities. Open activities shows like which are the assignments or activities are currently open for submission, and when they are they can submit. and how many students has submitted assignment out of 100. So this one has no one has submitted. When the deadline or the due time becomes lesser than 7, then remind to students this becomes active, and if you click here, you can send email very easily with 3 mouse clicks to all the students who have not submitted that assignments. And this is a personalized email that you can send. Again, I will talk about it later when I talk about the email portion. This is another important and very good thing which I believe, because this gives you an idea, whatever email you are sending to students, whether those are working or not, how effective those are. For an example, for this unit, 185 emails was sent, and 17% of students submitted assignments within 24 hours after receiving that email, 34% within 48 hours, 2 days, and total 69%. So it will give you some sort of idea if you send email through iLearn Insights, whether it is working or not. There are 3 places that I put observations. One is for this assignment reminder email. One is students which are not logged in within last 7 days, and one is in who have not completed academic integrity module. This one shows student login summary. So this shows how many students are currently enrolled in your unit. This shows how many students have not logged in within last 7 days, and this one shows how many students never logged in, right? So there is a discrepancy over here. I can see this is because this is the old iLearn Insights unit. Please bear in mind, iLearn Insights, when I have developed, I developed it for the current session, right? But nowadays, iLearn Insights is used for different reason. But if you look into it, your current session, you will see that not logged in within 7 days and never logged in is the list which will be shown over here. And if you click on the email above students, you can send email to all those students at one go, right? And there is a template available as well to send email. So email functionality, I'm coming back again later. Academic integrity module completion, there's nothing to say. It will show you how many students in your unit have not completed academic integrity module, and those who have not completed, you can send email. Participants not submitting activities, this is actually shows how many students have not completed how many numbers of assignments, right? For an example, 43 students have not submitted 4 activities or 4 assignments. 3 students in your unit have not submitted 16 activities, right? So this report was one of the tests or try, you can say, to find it out which group of students you should more put effort on, or which group of students probably are in more high risk. Like for an example, these 3, to me, they are in high risk because they haven't submitted 16 assignments. So definitely they are falling behind. Versus if you look at this one, 21 students haven't submitted 5 assignments. They are not so high risk, but they are approaching to high risk. Now, as a unit convener, with this report, you need to somehow judge which group of students that you should put more effort. That might give you a better overall result for your unit, right? It might be if you put more effort for these 21 students, they will be able to pass or do some good results, right? Versus that if you put more effort for these 3 students, they are already in danger. So this is something basically you need to decide which group of students that you need to put more effort in. This particular report is attached with unit engagement. I will come back to later, but these 2 are interrelated. I will come back later how these 2 works together. The forum visualization, it gives you all the forums over here, and it shows how many discussions has been, how many students started a discussion, 53. How many unique students contributed to that discussions is 28. how many unique, how many replies are there? 130 replies are there here, and how many unique students contributed to those replies? That is 37, right? So this basically will give you an idea that which forum is more used, which forums is more less used, kind of thing. And you can go in details of the forum here. I will show you again later. Now, this part, there is no forum post within the last 24 hours, but if there is any forum post, it will be a pie chart and it will show, okay, this forum has like 2 new forum posts, this forum has like 3 new forum posts, and so on. So it would be easy for you to view which forum has a new forum post. Probably you need to go and read, or which forum has a less forum post, that give you an overall idea within these 2 reports. Activity schedule, this is another good one. In your unit, there might be lots of activities, right? But in iLearn, what happens, it is very difficult to see the deadline or the starting date or the end date, right? These are all textual, in a textual form. So this is a visualized form of the activity schedule, and it shows when an activity is starting, when an activity is ending, right? For an example, this one, as you can see, it's started on 27th of July and ended in November 7th, right? Whereas this one had started 9th of November last year, and it was open only for a single day, right? And these are all past activities. These are no date activities, that there is no dates attached to it. And this unit is not showing. There are other 2 over here, that is past activity, no date activity, future activity, and current activity. So what this report does, it clearly group all the activities into 4 chunks, like past activity, current activity, future activity, no date activity, and put it in a timeline fashion, so you can see exactly how many assignments are currently going on and currently starting at a time. So main reason for this was, when I have developed, is to show, like, look, if there are too many activities at the same time, then it might be a problem for the student, might be, like, in my opinion, right? So looking at this, probably you might think to probably stress them during the session, right? Probably you start something here and you close it here, then another few activities starts, then they gets closed, then again it's all up to the unit convener how you want to design your unit. iLearn Insights is here only to show you what you have, how it is organized in iLearn. So this is all about the overall iLearn Insights. Now let me show you one of the important thing of iLearn Insights is to send email. Sending email is very easy. So let me pick up a smaller one to send email, or probably, I don't know. If you want to send email to all these students who have not logged into iLearn Insights, so just click on email above student. You will see all the lists here, as you can see, 164. You can select all, or you can select like 1 or 2, whatever you like. So it's depending. So I'm not selecting all because I don't want to send email to everyone. So let's select 2 of these, and I say compose. Now there are already some of the templates are already here. Now this first name, unit title, these are called the email variables that you can change through this one. So there are lots of email variables. There is a teach post about it. You can have a look. If I suppose don't like to have first name, you can put the cursor over here and go here, and probably let's select the last name over here. You can write whatever you like over here. This is the test email. So you go here, you go to preview, and this is how it looks, right? See, all the variables converted all of these. So if I go back over here again, you can see this variable brings up the current most accessed activity list. This variable brings up support services. This variable brings up plan your study using iLearn. So if you go over here, and have a look and read. If you are happy with it, then good. If you are not happy with it, you go back and change whatever way you want to change, right? So it's only 3 clicks. If you are happy, you send email to them. So this is my test environment. If I send email, it went directly to both of them, personalized email. And if I come over here, as you can see, it came to my email, and this is how it looks in the email. So dear last name, this is a test email, and this. And the good thing about using variable, that links come so nicely that a student can just click over here and go to that particular resource. Student can just click over here and go to that particular unit, right? So this is all links nicely. And as you can see, very easily, I managed to send emails to 2 students. This is how you can send email to thousands of students at one go, right? So there are 2 other places that you can send email from. One is personalized targeted email. One is personalized bulk email. So these are the emails that you can send. And the difference is, in this case, you can choose which student to send email, which are not. So for an example, email all participants over here, you can choose, okay, I want to send not all of them except this one, and this one. Versus if you go over here to email all participants, that is bulk email, you can't choose anything. It's all students. So this basically helps or works more with larger units, which has a 2,000 students, so they don't have to choose anything. If you go over here, then basically it comes 100 students list per page. So if there are more than 100, then you need to send 2 times email. This it cannot remember. So this one, if you choose this, then go to the second page, and if you choose this, basically it cannot remember all the selection. So it needs to be sent per page by page, so 100 at a time. For smaller units, it works, but for larger unit, it didn't work. So I had to create another one called personal bulk email, where you can send to all participants. So if it is 2,000 students, send at a time, email all participants in a cohort, as you can see, in a group or grouping. This is another very good one that everyone is using to send. This one don't have any group grouping, so group. So you can select suppose 54, and these are the 54 students that it will send. It's a very good one to send emails to only to the group. Then students who have not logged in, who have not completed academic integrative module, who have not accessed your unit within the last 7 days, who have not accessed a resource, not completed an activity. And as you can see, there are lots of options now in iLearn Insight, but emailing is all same. You choose, you write, you view, and you send, acknowledge and send. So it's all easy and simple to send email through iLearn Insights. Okay, so next I come to unit engagement. As I told you, this is a very important one and a good one that people are using over here. So if you look at this unit engagement,
Shamim,
yes.
Can I just ask a question about the emails? Would that be okay?
Yes.
So if you go down to that list and you go to the bulk email list and you say email all students who have not completed a resource,
yes,
will it then say choose the resource?
Yes,
and you
yes.
click on the resource, and then it will go to only the students who haven't completed that resource?
Exactly. So you choose a resource.
Okay, so it filters depending on what you choose.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, that's really helpful. Thank you.
No worries, no worries.
Shamin, could I just use this opportunity to jump in on something quickly as well that's related to the same thing? First of all, for anyone who hasn't used this before, it's fabulous. What you've created here is magnificent and really helpful. If for discussion forums where there's a discussion forum like, every week, and it's just marked, 1 point per week or something like that, is there any way of actually saying email all students that haven't done a discussion forum, say within the last 3 weeks? So you have a time date there and saying someone who hasn't submitted in, whatever period of time you take, or is that not available? And could you build that functionality?
I can build that function. I can build that function. So you just need to put the request over here, feedback and features request, right? As you can see, there are many. So I go through this one.
Great, thank you. I'll do so.
If you come here, you just put it in. I go through this. I think that is possible to build what you are asking. It's just a time that I need to consider.
Thank you. It's just really helpful for a student that, every week should be doing something. And it's an easy way of saying, hey, for the last 3 weeks, you haven't done it, get a wriggle on and go from there. Thanks most kindly.
No worries. So I come back to the unit engagement. So by default, unit engagement is calculated login, 50% of the login, and on-time submission is 50%. So this is how it is calculated by default, right? But unit convener has full freedom to choose the way they like. So if you go to settings over here, this is the place that you can choose, right? So for an example, just one thing you need to remember, every column you choose that needs to be 100. Otherwise, you won't be able to save it, all right? As you can see. So this is 100. This is 100. This is I'm not using, so 0 is all right. If you are not using, 0 is all right. If you are using any of this, that needs to be 100. So let's see how it works. So by default, login activity is 50%, on-time submission is 50%. And gradebook conditional score, 0%, I'm not considering, okay? Forum participation, I'm not considering. So let's change something. So let's take login activity 50%, and let's consider this one as suppose 25%. I also want forum participation. This is the new one, which I'll show, to be included as a 25%. So now I have 50, I have 100, which will work. This one, I will keep it as default. So anyone who hasn't logged in, who needs to log in at least one time within the last 7 days will be considered, yes, logged in. So this is, I'm happy with this one, and I'm taking 100% weightage of this one, which is good. Gradebook item, let's not worry about conditional weighting for the time being. This is a very important one, and I think everyone should change this or update it correctly. For an example, if you look at by default, what I did, I took all the activities in your unit and divided by that and brought it to somehow 100, right? So 6%, 6%, 6%, 6%. This one has no due date, so I didn't take into account. Anyone has a due date, I took a percentage and brought it to 100. But in reality, what happens? Not all of this activity actually important for your unit, right? Some of them are test, right? So for an example, this one is not important. So take it out to 0%. So, and probably this one is again, just remember, you need to make it 100. That's a, with a lot of activity, you need to, that's a little difficult one. So, but like I took it out 11% over here, right? And let's add 11% to something. Suppose this is my important one, right? So that should be 16, just to make it 100. Okay. Now let's come over here. Announcement, student can't reply or do anything announcement. So let's not worry about that. I'm more interested about this one, which I want to track. I want to keep it 100%. And I want to say discussion forum, that student at least started a discussion, right? And 2 replies made. Then I will consider they are engaged, right? Now condition, there are and or. If I put and, that means the student needs to start a discussion, also needs to reply 2 times. If I put or, either student start to a discussion, more than 1 discussion or equal to 1 discussion, or they reply 2 times. So you can see like and or how it works, right? So this is how, suppose I put or, right? Now I update the settings. Now, as you can see, this has changed, right? It took the forum participation as well is 0% because no one probably participated. Or if you want no one, my understanding is probably if I change to 1, if somebody has replied, we might be able to, no, still 0%. So I'm not sure how for this particular, but it should come at the front. It should come over here and it will show. the percentage. Now, if you go to the calculation, we can see the calculation in detail, how this is calculated, right? So this is how. So this one is basically showing wrong. I will rectify this. So this is, if you go to the calculation, it shows how this 45 calculated. This 45% is calculated from 18% from login, 19% from on-time submission, and 6% from forum discussions. I need to check why it's still showing 0. I need to check that, but it should show 6.91% over here. I have a feeling I know what is happening over here. This is my test environment, but in reality, it should show nicely, and it will show how this 45% is calculated. So when you say 45%, you go to the calculation, and you can see how the calculation is done. Cool. Now, if there is another important one, so if I go to details over here, so here it is. If you go to details over here, then you will be able to see details of the calculation, but student by student, right? It's a nice student by student. So there are lots of students, right? So what would be the best over here? Best would be to probably sort this one, or there are lots of filters over here you can use, but to me, best would be to sort over here, and you can quickly find which of the students are basically not engaging much, right? And you can send them email over here from here if you want. As you can see, all the emails you can send from here, and the sending email is same. You can see a little bit more about these students. Suppose if you want to know about these students, you can put the cursor over here, and you can see that this student had not logged in within the last 7 days, and on-time submissions is 3 out of 19, right? So it gives you a little bit more idea. If you want to know even further, more than this, you can click on this link, which will give you the same calculations that we have done for the unit for that particular student. So this is for this particular student, not logged in last 7 days, so 0% got. So which are the one didn't submit, not submitted on time, not only 3 submitted on time, as you can see. And also, so forum is not showing over here. I think forum is 0 for this student, and that's why it's not showing. And this is how it is calculated, 8%. So as you can see, in case of if you want, you can actually dive into deep into for a particular student by student, and get to see the exactly which student you are after. Just remember one thing. This settings over here is so important, as I have told you, especially this column, because this is the one basically will give you the appropriate or accurate unit engagement, right? So please, you go to your unit and update the way you think best. If you think out of 20 activities, only 2 is important, right? So those should be 50 and 50, right? You don't have to consider all of this, right? So, and once you update this, as I have told you, in the dashboard, that unit engagement, and this is interrelated. So only for those 2 assignments or the activities that you will choose there will be shown over here. So it won't show all 15, because to you as a unit convener, all 15 is not important. You only important is 2. So it will show on the basis of only 2. So as you can see, to get the maximum out of iLearn Insights, I will suggest to go to the settings, and it's only at the starting of the session, only one time you need to do, and you change all the assignments that is important for you, and probably change this. Even if you think like your assignments are totally not important, you can make it a 0. You can make it everything 0, and probably if you think only the online activity or the accessing your unit is important, you can make it 100. So as you can see, it's up to the unit convener. iLearn Insights is only to show the numbers, right? It's the way you want to design, the way you want to see, it's up to you, right? How you want to see. All right, so next I go to assignment submission location, right? Sometimes I'm seeing at the top of my screen because That's where the list is. Okay, so next I go to assignment submission location. This is another good one, I think, and will be helpful. So if I go to activity details over here, it will give you list of all the activities and in your unit, as you can see, and also group them into past activity, then future activity, no date activity, and current activity. So this unit has only two types, past and then no date. So if I choose one of them, let's choose submission, suppose this one. So what it does, this shows all the submissions, 156 students submitted, right? One of the good thing to me, but not to all the unit conveners, it's a good thing. But to me, like, it's a nice representation of all the students, how they are performing, whether they are more than average or the less than average. You can see. So this is a very less than average. Blue means more than average. You can sort it out the way you want, good student or bad, low performing students, right? So lots of things the way you want to do. So this one, the new thing which I want to explain is the submission location. So submission location is the new column that I have put over here. You can sort it now, sort it. Once you sort it, so you can see like 4 students have submitted from outside Australia, right? I don't mention which country, but I mention this year. I mention like which are the countries they have submitted from, but I don't mention who submitted from which country. So as you can see, like 1 student submitted from New Zealand, 1 from China, 1 from US, and the rest is from Australia. There might be some other somewhere, United States. Anyway, so it gives some sort of idea from which country they are submitting. And if you look at over here, put your cursor over here, it shows submitted from offshore, which is true, submitted on this date, and location count from 29th, from the submission time to approximately 12 hours I took. I might change this later depending on the feedback I get. So for the time being, within 12 hours, just to check, did they log in from onshore or not, right? So this one I found, for an example, has logged in onshore. So probably unit convener needs to look into it, that what is happening, right? Within 24 hours, yeah, somebody can fly back, that's for sure. So that's something just to show that there is someone who has submitted and logging into different places, right? So there is unit convener needs to judge about it. So this is only to flag to the unit convener, and there is offshores over here, and I have clearly written over here. So there are many ways it can come wrong. For an example, if the student is using a VPN, that will show Australia, right? Or it might show outside Australia, different IP address. So there is a judgment that unit convener needs to make out of it. But to some extent, they will get an idea, right, from which of the students are submitting assignments from offshore. All right, next is iLearn template checklist. So if I go over here in the dashboard, you will find this unit key findings. So what I have done over here, in line with iLearn template, if you know, there is an iLearn template which is proposed to be used, but different faculty might have a different template, which is all right. And there is activity no date I put over here as well, because this is very important. But if you put dates, that is much better for the student, and also I believe for you. There should be a starting date and end date for every activity. But in some cases not, it's up to the unit convener. I'm just flagging there is one activity which has no date. Now, in line with iLearn template is 20% for this unit. And this is where it is, right? If you go over here, you will see, clicking this link, you will see how the template looks like. It should come over here. So you can read about the proposed template. I'm not going through that one. I'm just showing it that there are some of these performance criteria in the template, and iLearn Insights try to match those. But again, it doesn't mean iLearn Insights is capable enough to find all of those. Self-assessment item, definitely not. iLearn Insight can't assess. So this is what you need to do. Yes, this is true for my unit. This is true for my unit. Suppose I'm just assuming this is automated. As you can see, still 2 didn't satisfy, but you think this is correct. You can override it. It couldn't find a banner, it couldn't find a dialogue, but to you, it exists, or to some form it exists in your unit, or to some form it is true for your faculty template, right? So you can update it. So if you update all of this and submit, you will see that it has changed from 20% to definitely 50%. Right? So this inline with iLearn template is another way just to show you, or just to look into your unit and say that, yes, my unit is probably close to the proposed template that university is looking after, right? Again, there is no right and wrong. You can go and update it. It's all up to you. It's in your hand to do that, and you can increase it. Okay, next is forum visualization and combined forum participation. Okay, so forum visualization, you can go over here and you can say like, I want to visualize forum interaction. So let's visualize this general discussion. You can go over here, which has 113 posts by 37 unique users, right? 130 posts. So if I go over here, this is how it looks, right? And this is the easy way. Plus is the starting point. So somebody has initiated the discussion, and this is a reply, and this is the reply to reply. So this is a very easy way to even read your threads or the forums, right? And I cannot show you over here. If I show you this diagram, when you log in and suppose you replied or you initiated something, that will be shown as a bright red. So any bright red over here, that means you actually responded or initiated the discussion, right? And this is a connected graph. Plus is the starting point, and the bigger sign, as you can see, bigger one means actually this has been posted within last 24 hours. So it's a good and easy way to read all your forums when you have lots of like discussions. And if you feel like you probably want to respond to something, and you want to see how many of the discussion you have responded to, you can quickly look into the bright red so this visualization, I have done it long back, and after that I haven't improved it yet, but like using this concept, we can probably do something in the future. If you have any idea, please feel free to put it in the feedback and the features request. Okay, next I go to the forum participation. Forum participation is you can look into any forum. I go to the discussion forum, and it gives you which of the students discussion started and how many, and reply count, right? So definitely there, I don't know. Yes, there it is. So this student has replied to 7. This student has replied to 4. This student has replied to 3, and 4 discussions started, right? And discussion rate, total discussion 53. There are 49 of them. This student has read, right? As you can see, iLearn Insight basically puts you all the data in front of you. How you want to interpret and how this will be helpful to you. So your judgment. So if I do this, so these are the students probably didn't read, didn't do anything, like as far as I think. These are the students read only 1 reply, didn't post anything, didn't reply anything, and so, right? And you can send email as well. And these are the filters that you can use to filter it down. There is a combined forum participation. What it does, it brings all the forums together and show you at one go, right? So if there are 5 forums, you can see all 5 together. I go to the next one, which is Eco 360 video view and Zoom participation report. Concept is similar. So if I go to ECOS 360 video view, it show you all the students, and you need to select a video that you are interested in to see. So probably this video, and you can see these are the list of the students, when they have first watched, when they have last watched, how many minutes they have watched, and total minutes watched, how many total minutes watched, right? And so on. So this might be very useful to some of you. If you have if you want to see ECO 360 video view, how many students has downloaded the video. Unfortunately, I cannot tell you which are the students have downloaded because that data is not available. But you can see like 2 students has downloaded this video. So this is ECOS 360 video view. If you go to the next one, combined ECOS 360 video view, what it does, it combines all together. So if you have 20 videos, it will show you in one page, right? And you can, it will basically sum it up as well. So for this student, 6 minutes watched, total video watched, and total minutes watched. So 6 video this students has watched and 3,000 minutes watched.
Is it possible to download this data, Shamim?
I don't know. Yes, it is possible here.
Good, thank you.
So iLearn Insight basically more or less has a similar similar structure, right? So most of them you will find this, in some of them not, definitely I didn't implement, but you will see this sort of thing. You can email, you can download. Yes. And another good thing about this is, suppose you have 20 videos, but you are not interested 20 videos. Right now you are interested in 3 videos, right? You can click over here and you can basically say, okay, I want to only report on this 3, right? And update this. And if you go to the combined video report again, I'm sure it will show only for those 3, right? So you can see like there are set up using this, you can basically view only the videos information that you want to view, right? This morning I noticed that forum participation don't have this one because I did it long back, probably something I should put. So not all the forums, you can select which are the forums that you are interested to see. I go to Zoom participation. Now Zoom participation is, I don't have any Zoom over here, so I have another one to show. For an example, this one, right? So if you have any Zoom meetings that you need to go over here and you select your Zoom meetings, it will show the students that participated into the Zoom, right? And remember, Zoom has made some changes that if you, after 30 days, it just don't show. So what I did, within 30 days, if you come over here and view it, iLearn Insights will save the data in iLearn Insight database and show it to you later. So if you think Zoom is an important thing, within 30 days, please visit Zoom report once, so iLearn Insights can save that data. Yes.
Can I just ask a question? Are there any constraints on how easy it is to see this information about Zoom participation? I recall there was particular ways you needed to set it up in order to be able to see Zoom participation, or is it just any Zoom meeting that's attached to?
Okay, no, there is
that?
a particular, there was. Okay, I will send you that teach post later, right? There is a settings that you need to tick, but I think by default it is tick for everyone because everyone is supposed to log in with their one ID now, if I'm not wrong. But let me very clear about it. I have been working on this for last 1 year and couldn't resolve 100%. Still, what is happening? Although students are supposed to log in with their one ID, but Zoom is not capturing properly their email address, right? Or one ID details. Now, if they don't capture properly, then this doesn't show properly, right? So at the end, what I had to do, if you look at over here, I have to do something matching with the name as well, but there might be 2 students with the same name. So in that case, it will come wrong, right? For an example, for this one, as you can see, yes, yes, yes. And I cannot show the star over here because I have changed the names, as you can see. It's all names are changed. But if I can't find their email address or Zoom did not save their email address, then I look after first name and the last name and I put a asterisk over here. But again, Zoom is an external provider and I don't have much control over it. I have been trying my best, but I cannot guarantee that 100% it is accurate. But it gives you some idea like how many students are logged in your participation. But like there are some students data is not recorded in Zoom, which is actually I can't do anything about it.
Okay, thank you. So if the student had a different name, like an anglicized name that they used in class compared to their formal name, that might also be a problem?
That will be also a problem. Yes, yes. So basically what is happening, they are supposed to use their OneID to log in, right? If they log in with their OneID, right, then there is no way to change the name, different name. But Zoom, I don't think they are very much technically advanced to deal with this part. So they don't save data properly in many cases. So in that cases, I can't report it correctly. So let's see this session, how it goes with this one. This is an extra thing that last session I have quickly added. Let's see how it goes. It might solve most of them. Probably it might miss some, but most of them. Let's see. But this is how it is now. And third of all, you can also combine Eco360 and Zoom participation, right? Some of the videos you want to combine, whether they have watched a video in the Eco360 and they have participated. If you want to see, this is the place you can come. You can choose the Eco360 video through this. You can choose the Zoom through this, and it will combine and show you, right? So before I go to the next one, please note, if Zoom is important within 30 days, please come back over here and at least you view once. So iLearn Insight will store the data. All right, so next one is individual student report for a group of students. This is basically for the unit, for the head of the department or the program coordinator, right? This morning I found there is a bug, so I'm not showing it right now. But any unit, any head of the department or for the group of students, if you're interested in, please contact me or Jeremy. I know I can fix it by tomorrow. Please contact me or Jeremy Hind, and we can show it. So this is how it looks. I can show you over here somewhere I put. So this is how it looks. So basically for all the students, which are the units they are enrolled in current session, how many, what are the unit engagement for those students, whether they are last access onshore or offshore, last access, when they have last access and which unit, total unit access within last 7 days, whether they have completed academic integrative module or not, whether they have consent matters or not, and I can add some more thing. So as you can see, this is a try from my side to do something student by student rather than unit by unit. So any administrator who looks after probably different students from different units can use this. Any head of the department can use it, or program coordinator can use this one. Okay, so next is students who have not accessed a resource or have not completed an activity. This is the question like already asked. So if you go to students who have not accessed a resource, if you go over here and if you select a resource, now this is my test unit, I don't think anyone has accessed. It will show you the students who have not accessed these units. Remember, in many cases, iLearn Insights basically reports the negative part, have not, right, rather than who have access. So these are the one not accessed, right? Similarly, if you have activity completion on in your unit, you can use this one to say that quiz test 2 who have not completed this particular quiz, right? So this is coming from here. Okay. Now iLearn Insights that do not work for myLearn, right? So this is a very important one which I need to show. So this is more or less about iLearn Insights. Don't forget there is a participate participants report, which is also very good, which shows all the participants and which country they are accessing your unit from. I believe this will give you a nice idea of which are the countries they are accessing currently. So if you have an exam or something, online exam, you can decide what time suits for all the students in a different time zone. So
can we also have the positive side of it, Shamim, like the students who achieve top 10% in some assessment tasks, so we reinforce their engagement and motivation by sending them emails instead of just targeting the bottom of the students?
Yeah, I'd like to echo that, please, because you know, as you just said, iLearn Insights only seems to exist for negativity. Is there any way of accessing students who are doing the work, just so we can see the percentage who are doing it, how well they're doing it?
I mean, to some extent, I think yes, to some extent, but not a very good. So if you go to here, activity details, right? It gives you submission, graded, needs marking, this and that, right? So if I go to graded, I think to some extent, yes, you can identify, but not a very sophisticated way. So let it come over here. This is the past unit, has a lots of data, so it takes a little bit time. But I think through this one, you can identify this.
True, we can, but in my unit, I have like 1,000 something students. It's really a hassle to identify them page by page.
Yes, I understood. We can do something about this one. So if you want to know the good students, so you do the gradebook mark over here, which 6 to 10 if you consider. So these are the good students, right? Still 2. So this is the problem you are saying. But these are the good students.
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
That's the problem.
More good student, 10 out of 10. These are the best student. You can send email. But what she is asking, I understood that somehow to group them and say that, okay, send emails only to students who has received more than certain marks.
It's something similar to not access 7 days. We should have something like achieve the best top 10% or something like that, and it should be maybe in the template email as well, so make the life easier for us.
Excellent. Can you put few lines over here so I can remember? Because if you look at so many, I get personal email as well, so sometimes I forget. Just 2 lines, if you put it over here, then I will go back to you and I will understand more. But overall, I did understand. I think possible, right? And I have a intention to change the emailing things, totally change it to a email something different. So where basically you will go into only one location and you will say, I want to do this, and I want to send email this, and it will send. So in that case, it will work for you, yours one. I think you need to just say, okay, I want to send email for this particular group of students where so-and-so assignments got more than so-and-so marks. Something to think about. Okay, but this is possible. If possible, please put a line over here so I remember. Okay, so before I go to iLearn, I have only less than 2 minutes, which is not good. I forgot to explain this one. Schedule email. This one basically is same as email, but you can schedule it for the entire session. So you write an email over here, right? I took a template, right? Put some name over here and create a new template, right? Then you view. Then you say, okay, this is the email. Send it to all participants who have not completed an academic integrated module, right? You can put attachment and schedule, send it on 17th of 3 p.m. and schedule. So if I do that, you can see it has been scheduled over here, right? You can put your cursor and this will go automatically this, and after sending this, it will send you an email saying that I have sent it, right? So there is a teach post. I will send the link of the teach post to you all again. So I don't have time. last bit is the iLearn. So what is the iLearn? iLearn is actually a student version of iLearn Insights, right? So iLearn Insights work for academics. iLearn will hopefully is working for or will work for students. And just to let you know, last session we started iLearn, and in total 12,000 and 8,000, if I'm not wrong, 12,000 in session 1, 8,000 students in session 2, total 20,000 students looked into iLearn. So as a unit convener, if you want to view what student can see in iLearn, you can go to participants, right? Then see iLearn student view. So let's view for this student or this student. So if I click over here, it will ask you to log in. So this is actually me. Let me click after login. So now I have logged in. I click there. So this is what this student's view of iLearn this student view of iLearn, right? So this student not enrolled in any units in this session. That's why it is not showing. But in reality, after 20th of this month, when session starts, you go over here and view it. You will be able to see, right? Now, one thing you need to remember, and the most important thing that is I would like to show you is what works and what don't work for iLearn, right? So I quickly go. I'll distribute this this PowerPoint with you. So this one, iLearn restriction that work for iLearn, right? So if you go over here, so as you can see, assignment over here, gradebook, you can hide it in the gradebook. If you hide it, I don't know why it's automatically changing. If you hide it in the gradebook here, as you can see, then it will not be shown in iLearn. So as you can see, if you show the mark, it will show student the relative to average gradebook mark. If you don't show the mark, it will not show to students the relative to relative to grade mark. Let me keep it smaller. I hope this is viewable. Okay, so the next one is hide section. Very easy. If any section is hidden, those are the activities or whatever inside will not be shown. Same as iLearn, right? If you hide a full section, but if you open up one activity, then only that activity will be shown. Same as iLearn. So as you can see. Quiz section, just remember any date you put, please update the timing, any activity, you know. So that's why I was encouraging you to change the timing, as you can see. So this is how they will see. This is the time that this activity will open. This is the time this activity will close. If you don't put any date, it will consider the starting of the session to end of the session. And it doesn't look good from the student point of view because it will show like 20 activities starting from the beginning to the end. But it is up to the unit convener to decide what works best. So iLearn restrictions, badge works, date works, group works, grouping works. You can choose any of these. Here it is, timing versus restrict access. So, you know, you can put the timing for an activity, you can put the restrict access for the activity. Both are same, both basically somehow restricts. But what is the difference in iLearn? If you put timing, then basically they will be able to see as a future assignment or activity. But if you restrict them until and unless that date comes, they will not be able to see it on their iLearn, because restricting access is somehow showing that you are restricting them not to view. If there is 0 marks for that activity, then it will not show in iLearn. iLearn will only show when there is a grade attached to it. In restrict access, if you look at user profile, grade, and release code do not work. In Turnitin assignments, it will take the starting date from part 1, not from part 2, part 3, or part 4. Do not put any dates into the instruction section, or because like I generally get email back saying that it's not showing properly into iLearn. because you need to put in within the timing of that. And last of all, the best practice, if you go to iLearn Insights and go to activity details, and please try to see whether there is dates attached to it or not, right? If there is not date attached to it, you can go there and change it, the dates, right? So this is how it. So I think like that, this is all that I have to say today. And I know it is a lot of information, and I am available to help you. Do not spend time to understand iLearn Insights. If you still have any question, I will go through the chat and respond. If you still have a question, just send it to me. I will reply you. Don't put more effort to understand all of this, right? Then the whole point or whole aim of iLearn Insights will not work, right? The main aim of iLearn Insights is to reduce time or workload for the academics. So please send it to me, whichever queries you have. I quickly direct you to the proper report. If it is not available, I will let you know. Look, it is not available, so it won't work.